Welcome. It's your man God of Dots back with another episode of the Audible. Hope everybody is having hope everybody is having a good evening. Hope everybody's having a good evening. It is I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know me. We're here Thursday, man. No Thursday night games tonight, so I started the show a little bit later. Going to be looking forward to this weekend's upcoming games. Final week of the NFL season. A lot is on the line as when we're talking about playoff position is concerned. And also, I want to kind of touch on the NFL Pro Bowl rosters were released earlier this week. I got some questions about a couple of them. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let me get into it, man, because I'm doing some other stuff, man. And tomorrow's show, if I decide to do tomorrow's show, it's gonna be a little bit different. Not necessarily sports based like I normally have my Freestyle Friday shows. I want to kind of do something a tad bit different, but not something that I'm doing that much different in the other space with the Not a Sector show. I want to do something a little tad bit different. Got a topic I want to kind of possibly bring to the table, but we'll see. But let me kind of just go ahead and get into it. I want to kind of start off with the Pro Bowl rosters, kind of get that out of the way, and then we'll look forward to this upcoming weekend's games. Like I said, it's a lot on the line in regards to playoffs and that kind of stuff. But there's some things I'm going to kind of go over Pro Bowl rosters and kind of go over not necessarily all the positions, but some of the key positions, some of the more notable positions where you can kind of see who's played well, who hasn't played well. And I have my thoughts and opinions on if a guy deserved to be on the Pro Bowl team or shouldn't have been on the Pro Bowl team. And it's a couple of these positions I'm looking at, especially when we're going to start off with quarterback. We're talking about the AFC. I have no problem with Tua and Lamar, obviously. With the seasons that they've had, especially with Lamar, more than likely to be the MVP when it's all said and done. I have no problem with them making the Pro Bowl team. Patrick Mahomes as quarterback 3. I'm not sure on that one. He had a pretty good year stats wise, but Pro Bowl year, it's kind of a bit of a stretch for me when I consider some other quarterbacks in the AFC who, in my opinion, could have gotten that last spot. I'm looking at Josh Allen in Buffalo as possibly being a guy that could have got that spot. And I know some people may not agree with this. This break I'm about to give you, but I think CJ Stroud. As a rookie played well enough to make the Pro Bowl team. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, you made the Pro Bowl, and it is what it is. Is that it's all said and done. But I don't think to me, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a Pro Bowl-ish year, considering the struggles that the offense had, moving the ball, scoring points. Stat wise, if you just look at the stats, he had a pretty good year, but it's not a Patrick Mahomes type season, and that's what I'm kind of judging him off of. Like I said, I think CJ Stroud, considering the talent that he had to play with, the lack of expectations that he had to play with, I think CJ Stroud deserved to make the Pro Bowl at the quarterback position in the AFC. If this is my opinion, Patrick Mahomes he was third as far as the depth chart is concerned, as far as the Pro Bowl roster is concerned. But I just don't think, in my opinion, I don't think Patrick Mahomes had a Pro Bowl-ish season. And I'm just judging him off his past performances and whatnot. As we kind of look ahead to some other positions, I have no real big problems with the running back position in the AFC. Raheem Mostert had a very good year. James Cook had a very good year. Kind of surprised Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry kind of made the cut as Pro Bowl. Once again, a guy, I'm kind of, I don't want to judge him off his past success, but I don't think, in my opinion, he had that great of a year to be named Pro Bowl. But then when I kind of look around at the rest of the AFC at the running back position, I don't see, maybe Travis Etienne from Jacksonville, but his season was kind of up and down. Singletary, maybe with the Texans, maybe. It is, but it wasn't a very strong year with the running back position overall. I mean, in most years, Raheem Mostert and James Cook may not have made the Pro Bowl initially, but this year they did. But Derrick Henry, question mark for me when I look at the wide receiver position for the Pro Bowl for the AFC. Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. Not a problem with any of those guys. Not a problem with any of those guys. I think Tank Dell, wide receiver, before he got hurt, could have made a late push. I think Nico Collins should have got some attention for the wide receiver position in the AFC. But when you look at the seasons that Tyreek had, Jamar had, Keenan Allen had, and Amari had, especially when we're talking about Keenan Allen, the struggles that his quarterback had, Jamar Chase out there with a hobbled and then injured Joe Burrow. For him to end up with a Pro Bowl selection is, speaks volumes for him. But like I said, I have no problems with any of those guys making the Pro Bowl. To kind of round out the offense on the AFC side, Travis Kelce, David Njoku, no issue there at the tight end position. I don't think anybody else kind of separated themselves and really kind of put themselves in that discussion. For me, not going to go over the offensive line. It's kind of hard to kind of judge that. Let's kind of leave that what it is. The defensive side of the ball, defensive ends, you have Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. All of those guys have awesome seasons. Myles Garrett, in my opinion, is front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. Based on the season that he had, Max Crosby had a very good season. Trey Hendrickson, a lot of people, if you weren't watching Bengals football, you weren't keeping up, had a fantastic season on the edge for the Cincinnati Bengals this year. So no objections there. Chris Jones, Quentin Williams, and Justin Matabuke from Baltimore, line out the defensive tackles. Once again, no issues there. All those guys have very good seasons. I think Justin Matabuke, if you had a very, very surprising season, would be a amount of sacks. I want to say he's currently at 13 to 14 sacks for the season, and that's a very high number when we're talking about getting sacks from the interior of the other defensive line. You just typically don't see those kind of numbers on a regular basis from the DT position. So congratulations for him for making it. We look at the outside linebackers. Hold on. We're looking at the outside linebackers. TJ Watt, Khalil Mack, Josh Allen. No big problems with those. Khalil Mack had very quietly had a very good year for the Chargers. Double-digit sack totals, had a very good year. TJ Watt, some people may have him in the discussion for possible Defensive Player of the Year. I don't, but TJ Watt had a very good year. Raekwon Smith and Patrick Queen, Baltimore, especially with the defense that they have. Raekwon Smith, in my opinion, is the second best middle linebacker in the NFL, right behind and very closely behind. Very closely behind Fred Warner for the San Francisco 49ers. No problem there. Only problem I have as far as the secondary is concerned, Jalen Ramsey. He's to me it was a kind of up and down season. I think a lot of the team success maybe kind of pushed him over. I don't think, Jalen Ramsey, for me, didn't jump off the page to me when I watched the Dolphins play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Not to say that he didn't have a good year. I just don't think it was Pro Bowl worthy, especially when you consider Pat Surtain, Sauce Gardner, this award, the kind of years that they had, in my opinion. Maybe I just didn't watch Jalen Ramsey close enough. I just don't, he didn't play all the games this year, kind of missed some time with some injuries. I don't know. Was cornerback play that bad in the AFC that he got picked? I don't know. I don't know, but we're going to kind of move ahead to the NFC. Of course, we're talking about the quarterback position. You got Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford making the cut. I have no issue with Matt Stafford. It was very competitive. I would say it was a very close call between Matt Stafford and, in my opinion, who could have made the Pro Bowl team, and I wouldn't have had an issue with it, was Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a very good year for a very good Detroit Lions offense. Um, but all that being said, Matthew Stafford had a very good year also for the Rams. Had a very, very good year. Of course, Dak, in MVP conversation. Brock Purdy was in the MVP conversation for the majority of the season. So no issue with that. Brock, Jared Goff may end up making the Pro Bowl depending on one of these guys make the Super Bowl. Of course, in the NFL, if your team makes the Super Bowl, you don't play. You still get the designation of being a Pro Bowler, but you don't play in the actual game. They find an alternate for you. So I would have to assume that Jared Goff is alternate number one in regards to quarterback in the NFC. As far as the running back position, of course, Christian McCaffrey leading the way. DeAndre Swift, I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually kind of surprised considering how he has, in my opinion, has been misused in his time in Philadelphia. Oh, what's going on, TC? Yeah. Matter of fact, man, because let me get through this, and if you're still around, I kind of want to talk about that shit show over there, man. It's I'm kind of conflicted about that, but matter of fact, I'm just doing the Pro Bowl rosters now. I don't know if you're just popping in or popping out. Let me do this real quick. All right. Yeah. All right. Link been dropped. And while I wait for you to come up, running back position, like I said, DeAndre Swift, he had a very good start to the year, was leading the NFL in rushing, but Philadelphia's, and in my opinion, has not leaned on DeAndre Swift more coming down the stretch, and it showed in their performances down the stretch. I just don't understand why he's not getting a lot more burn when he hasn't been used up, hasn't been dried up. I don't know. That's question, but hey, he's there on the Pro Bowl roster. Congratulations to him. Of course, McCaffrey was in some people's conversation for MVP, so of course he was going to be on there. Kyron Williams, key part of that very surprising Rams team. I know a lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in them, especially with the rough start that they had to the season. But they got a couple Pro Bowlers on here, and well deserved. Kyron Williams had a very good year at the running back position, kind of a prove it year for him. Hold on for a sec. Hold on. All right, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Let me put my headphones on. I don't want to get no echo. Just give me a second.
Okay. All right. All right, well, I'll wait for the good brother Ghost to kind of get his stuff together. We can go ahead and finish out doing sorry, y'all know me. Wide receiver position. Okay.
Yeah, Ghost, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, man, shoot, man. I ain't even get to talk to you since the Cowboy Eagles shit, man. The Eagles, man, they disappointing the fuck out of us, man.
Well, but here's the thing. And I don't know if you've been catching the replays or not. I've been saying it all year, man. Something is off with the play calling. Jalen Hurts don't look comfortable in that offense this year, and I don't know what the breakdown is. Maybe you're a Philly fan. Is something I'm missing?
They fall in love with that wide receiver screen, man. They did the whole was it the run pass option, RPO, some bullshit. It's like they haven't really taken their offense. Like, it's like San Francisco had exposed one thing and they never adjusted since then. It's just been that simple, bro.
I saw the struggles early. Even when you guys was winning, I was like, yeah, it don't look right.
But it's just not the offense, though, bro. that
Well, the
defense look?
defense is a completely separate issue. Defense is way worse. One of probably bottom of the league. In a lot of a lot of categories. But I said the
Mm-hmm.
issues with the offense is like you guys were very successful last year when you had a run first mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys was leading into the run game, allowing Jalen to make easier reads with the RPO, to play action, he had a
Mm-hmm.
much better year. And it seemed like stuff was simpler. You guys just don't have um, any creativity. When you watch Philly's offense, a lot of the stuff that these teams are putting into their schemes with the motion and all that, you don't really see that with Philly. It feels just like we're just gonna line up. Like,
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, the we lost some coordinators, bro. We lost a lot of good, coaches. I guess because we had so much success last year.
yeah,
I don't know this offensive coordinator, and I think Nick Sirianni too. He got a lot of stuff on his shoulders. A lot of blame could be placed on his shoulders too. Dude. He should have definitely been more. You know,
okay, you kind of Borg in there, bro. You got kind of Borg in there for a second. Hold on, you kind of Borg in there.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good now. You good now.
Okay, yeah, it's a blank spot every time I ride past and I get closer to my crib. But yeah, man, like it's just a bad look as far as the inconsistency. I remember back in the day we used to have a problem with clock management, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Too much of an issue. Either they're not executing their timeouts correctly, or they're just running like play. I remember Chip Kelly used to run like 5 plays in 1 minute, and it's just over. Like no rest for the defense, no nothing. We're not going. It's not. That's not the issue. Um,
Well, defense is the biggest concern because you can't stop nobody.
right. You can't.
Yeah,
You know those edge rushers, like the Hassan Reddicks, the Sweats, and all them. They're just straight running uphill to get to the quarterback. They're not containing nothing on the edges at all. Uh, Trent Williams, who's probably like the best left tackle in football for San Francisco, man, every time McCaffrey ran to that left side, it was 7 yards. I saw that. I said, "Oh my God, this is." But that's Trent Williams over there, so you're not there. But then you start to see everybody else, you know, figure out don't rush up the middle. We got studs up the middle. We got the two big young boys from Georgia. We got uh, Fletcher Cox. So you're not going to run up the middle on us like that. But those edge runs, man, that's all day, man. And once a run game, the run game opens up everything. And once a team establish a good run game against you, it's over.
yeah.
You're gonna have a long day, man. A long day. I saw what Arizona was. I was like, come on, man. Arizona's just running all the fuck over us, bro.
Yeah,
And it was ugly.
I told people, I said, if you didn't watch the game, if you just looked at the score, you were thinking it was like a last second type game. Like, no, Arizona dominated on offense in that game. I don't think a lot of people, if you take away that fluke interception, for like 90 some yards, Arizona
Mm-hmm.
Arizona would have double digits. On Philly defense, it's not what it's cracked up to be. Teams are moving the ball on them, and the secondary. You guys missed Gardner Johnson. Should have paid him.
Who?
CJ Gardner Johnson went to Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all missed that on that back end because Kevin Byard I thought was going to be a good pickup for you guys. He just saying he ain't making plays, and like age just caught up to everybody in your secondary. Slade kind of looked
Mm-hmm.
he lost a step. Bradbury was getting cooked all year long. And Byard to me wasn't making the plays he was making when he was in Tennessee. You guys, I mean, in my opinion, you guys are one and done. I'm curious to see what the matchups are going to look like, but
Yeah, depending on the matchup, we might not even be one and done. We might just be done.
I mean, you guys are in. You guys. I think you. I got to see what the matchups are after the games on Sunday. Because if you guys are playing against like a Rams, I'm picking Rams.
No, I think Rams or Tampa we fine. I don't think I want to see nobody from
Well, you'll probably get the NFC South winner. So
who's that?
well, right now
Who,
it's Tampa Bay, but it could end up being New Orleans or it could be Atlanta.
who's in the Central? Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's division. So you guys won't see them because Philly's pretty much locked into the 5 seed. So you're playing the NFC South.
Okay.
So
Well, Tampa. Yeah, we can get past Tampa. And So Dallas is already locked up to get the East.
well, Dallas wins on Sunday. It's over. Now if Dallas
How?
loses tiebreakers.
So y'all got us in tiebreakers. We split our series, didn't we?
But it ain't just the head to head. It's division and conference tiebreakers. Yeah, we got
Oh
y'all.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh
we
shit.
went against the Commanders. Then we win the division. I mean,
Okay.
if we lose, it's a possibility it could happen against the NFL. I don't have a problem playing the NFC South on the road. All
Hmm.
3 of those teams, whichever one gets in, they're flawed. They're flawed. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, hit or miss. You never know what Atlanta's going to bring out there. Atlanta's got a good defense, but the offense has been all over the place. They don't know what they want to be. I think New Orleans will probably be the scariest out of the 3 because of how good the defense is. And Tampa Bay's got a good defense, but I think New Orleans defense is just a tad bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, we could be, done. Period. I don't think nobody's really like excited, for real about this team no more. And the city, the vibe in the city, we already looking at the Sixers
Damn, you guys already don't
as
check.
our only hope.
You
Yeah, I'm
guys don't
telling you,
check out.
dudes and checked out, bro. We checked out. We checked out after that Seattle game, dude.
Yeah.
We checked out after that Seattle game. The Arizona game just pretty much is like, hey, you know what? We went to the Super Bowl. People talking about getting rid of Sirianni right now.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that on like talk shows and reports that they may be getting ready to like he just. I mean, it shows the importance of having not only good head coach but good coaching staff. You lose 2 good coordinators like that who have their teams competing. Like you lost to your former defensive coordinator when in the Cardinals. Like I've been saying about Arizona all year, they're a bad team as far as talent is concerned, but they play hard. I don't think they're going to fire him, but it's going to be some questions about because you can't say how you can't say Roseman ain't bringing the talent. He brings in the talent year in year out. He's willing to move draft picks. He's always seems to have luck of finding high value talent in the right spot. You can't really blame it on the GM because the GM is putting the pieces out there to compete, not only for divisions and conference rounds. You guys was in the Super Bowl last year and had a chance to win.
Right. Should have won.
Yeah, it should have won, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sirianni, it's I think what rub people the wrong way with him. He talks a lot of shit. He's a front runner. Like,
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, he is a front runner, running his mouth. And I said, you know what? I've been telling people. I said, Philly just ain't the same team they were last year. If you're not watching, you just looking at the record. Oh man, they're 10-1. Like, yeah, that's a sketchy 10-1 because they got that defense ain't it, and the offense is looking lost out there at times. Jalen, I don't know, man. It's like he regressed this year.
No, you know what? And I think that's the biggest disappointment of what's going to happen is because this city would turn on you real fast. Jalen Hurts was like, Joe Montana, halfway through the season. Like people were looking at him. He got his money too, but dude, I'm telling you, man, like they will definitely use him when there's nobody else to blame. Jalen Hurts will probably, and that's how we lose great players here in Philly. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll scapegoat a cat and make it like, oh, it was all their fault. When here it is, like, nah, like, either the front office or bad coaching. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw it happen with too many guys here. McNabb, Randall, uh, yeah, Vic. People were really rooting for Vic in the beginning, but once Chip got here, Chip fucked everything up, and the rest is history. But yeah, man. Talk about your Cowboys though, man. Like they not looking like the sharpest knife in the drawer right now, neither.
Yeah. We've got our issues. For me, the biggest issues I have with this team going forward is our defense, or our team as a whole. We don't travel. Our game doesn't travel well. When we're at home, we're
Hmm.
dominant. But it was like when we get on the road, it's like the defense is not as sharp, the offense is just not as sharp. And to get to the Super Bowl, unless something fluky happens, we're going to have to go through San Francisco. And that's not a. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not a game I'm looking forward to. Not
Hmm.
not that I don't think we can beat them, but I've seen all season how my team is when we're on the road. Our game just doesn't travel that well. I think we'll be fine first week, second week, because we'll have home field. But we talk about getting to a championship game and we got to play at San Francisco. I ain't liking that. 'Cause
I'm gonna tell you something about San Francisco too, man. That people. Brock Purdy is not a quarterback that could come from behind and win, dude.
oh no no no
They
no
they
no no.
they're front runners, like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like if Brock Purdy gets down by if he can't rely on McCaffrey to really carry them in the running game, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to be the guy that where I would put 8 men on the box with Frisco. I just would. You know what I'm saying? And make him beat me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Well, see,
I don't.
here's the thing with that though. The problem with San Francisco, you got to have the right personnel. And where they beat a lot of teams at, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because a lot of teams can't uh, match up with them defensively. That's why they give, they smacked around the Eagles, they smacked around the Cowboys. We have good teams and we have talent in certain positions, but it's hard to match a team that has a Pro Bowl running back, Pro Bowl tight end, two very good receivers on the outside, very good offensive line. Like Baltimore is one of those teams like we match up well across the board. Like I said, that's why I think San Francisco is going to be a problem for the NFC if they, Baltimore and Frisco ends up being the Super Bowl. I got Baltimore again because they match up well personnel wise. Like, but I agree with you. If you're going to play San Francisco, you can't treat them like a traditional team. I would make Brock Purdy beat me.
Right, right.
He's shown this season in the games that they've lost. If you're asking him to go score for score or come from
Hmm.
behind, that's not his game.
Not his game at all. And you know what? And if you really put pressure on him, he's a type. He see ghosts. I saw that in the last NFC Championship. He hurt his shoulder. I get, like he's really not. People talking about him as the MVP. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Well, you know how the league is.
Yeah.
You know how to. I mean, because at the time, San Francisco, until in a lot of people's opinions, until they played Baltimore, was looking like the best team in the league. This off the how they manhandled Dallas and Philly. Um, and Brock Purdy had a very good year, very efficient with the ball. Like, but you don't, I stopped thinking about the MVP being like the most talented player because that's not what it is. In a lot of these sports, because if we were going off talent, Brock Purdy would never be in the conversation.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, but his team had a lot of success. He had good numbers um, throughout the year. to me, I think Lamar Jackson wrapped it up with that, that beat down of San Francisco.
Well, I mean, they still trying to like it's I don't
They try to
people
make an
try.
argument, but it ain't no
Yeah,
argument.
it's always like they. I don't want to bring race into it, but it's like, come on, man. Like, are y'all really going to try to force feed, you know, this thing with,
Yeah, yeah,
McCaffrey? That's why the kid came out. I think said, "Yo, let's put up black players versus white players and see who will win." You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to just stop it. Like it's not that. It's not that, man. Like, the best players are the best players, and unfortunately, well, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, but the truth is, they're black. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It just is what it is. So if Lamar tricky right now, like, who are you trying to argue? You trying to McCaffrey? Okay, yeah, he's a good running back, but when's the last time I've seen more dominant performances from running backs that
Yeah.
didn't even get a sniff of MVP type? And Jamal Lewis running for 2,200 yards. He wasn't even considered as MVP that year. Damian Tomlinson all those years. Like, come on, man. Like, I've seen better years out of running backs than what Christian McCaffrey's doing this year.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, yeah, yeah.
I agree. I would agree. I mean, but he's had all things. I mean, and not to slight McCaffrey, he's had a very good year catching the ball, running the ball this year. But to me, the MVP as far as the NFL is concerned is pretty much always been a quarterback award. It's always been a quarterback award. Like, you got to have a crazy season as a running back to even really be in the conversation. You,
Right, right,
you
man. That's what I'm saying. I don't think McCaffrey's even had a year, the best year I ever seen with a running back. Like, I've
no,
seen many
yeah,
more
I mean, I
running
can think
backs have more explosive season.
I think Derrick Henry about a year or two ago had a much better year than
Hell
McCaffrey
yeah,
had.
dude.
But this is the NFL. You got to kind of. I mean, it was conversation this year. Tyreek Hill might be in the conversation for MVP based off the year he was having at the time. Uh, I think it's to me it's Lamar. If I'm gonna pick second and not to be biased, I'm gonna pick Dak. This off. I think he's played better. Um,
That, come on.
I, I, I got Dak too. I got Dak too, and I got Purdy or McCaffrey 3. I mean, that's just. I think Dak has had a hell of a year.
I
Had a
mean,
hell of
I
a year.
really haven't paid attention to Dallas outside of them playing us, but definitely Lamar.
Yeah,
Definitely Lamar
I mean, yeah,
Jackson,
Lamar.
man.
Yeah, he's wrapped it up. He's wrapped it.
And,
Now,
and what else is crazy too? They talk about, the running back is a real disrespected position, but when it comes to McCaffrey, it's not disrespected at all, man. I just need to throw that out there. Like, because, this is probably Saquon Barkley's last game in New York. You know what I'm saying? Because all of a sudden they could probably find another one in the second round or the fourth round or some, there's all this crazy stuff they talking. But again, when we talk about, McCaffrey, like, oh no, he's one of them. Like, what? How? You know?
well, now and I get where you're going with that. But I would say this about McCaffrey and how San Francisco uses him. They use him like the Chargers used to use LaDainian and the Rams used to use Marshall Faulk. They involve him a lot in the passing game. And you just don't see running backs being featured like that. What's going on, brother? Absurd. You just don't see running backs being featured like a lot of take Philly's backfield, for instance. You guys got rid of Miles Sanders and said we'll replace him with 4 guys.
Right, right.
We got DeAndre
Again,
Swift to do this. We got Gainwell to pass block. Like, teams just don't teams just don't feature running back is in that many ways like they used to. Like, even
yeah,
Derrick Henry.
Westbrook used to be that guy for us.
Yeah.
Westbrook could have, 100 yards receiving and 100 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? But I guess
Look how far
that's
back
just
you
the.
had to go. Yeah, this is the NFL. Like they look at it now. I mean, think about it. You guys paid 4 guys for what Miles Sanders made in Carolina this year. You're like, you know what? You can walk. We'll get 4 guys that can do what you do in some capacity.
But here's
Big
the
defense.
thing. But that's my point. You could use every NFL team could use their running back just as much as San Fran uses McCaffrey, but they choose not to. But McCaffrey, he's just handled different than how all the other running backs is handled. Now, is it their fault? No, I mean, I'm pretty sure Miles Sanders could be a catching running back out the backfield. He could be a power back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Well,
just.
Saquon. Well, look at Saquon last year. Saquon had a very good year last year at the running back position because he had a halfway decent quarterback through most of the year. Daniel Jones didn't play bad last year. Um, that helps McCaffrey too. If you got a quarterback that's don't know how to put the ball on you when you coming out the backfield. I mean they'll put McCaffrey out wide, a wide receiver. Like a lot of these cats, not to say that they can't do it, they're not asked to do it. You
Yeah,
just
they
don't.
not.
Yeah,
That's not. It's not part of the execution.
Yeah, teams is like, no, we got guys. We can draft a guy to 56th round for that. We don't need a guy to do that. Um, San Francisco's is one of those teams that they just use guys different. Like take Debo Samuel, the wide receiver. He's more kind of like a H back, running back type, player. Oh damn, Ghost dropped off. Appreciate you coming up, man. Appreciate you coming up. Shit. Because I was gonna get into the rest of you know what, man, I'll just do that tomorrow. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll because ain't no games tonight. So same bat time, same bat channel. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll finish up. Look forward to the final week of games. We'll talk about playoff scenarios and that kind of stuff. Let me go get into some bullshit. Um, in y'all with the phrase that pays over here, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.